So, welcome to my kitchen, welcome to Christchurch, and welcome to level 1. Woo! It's good to be here. So it's me in my kitchen, and on the other side of the camera is my son Jack. Hello, hi Jack, nice one.
What up?
Because I'm not too ready to bust my bubble to the extreme. Today is all about winter warmers, amazing, delicious, really gorgeous food that makes you feel really homely and fills your house with love. So I'm going to be using today a joint of silverside, which we all know and love, because it's one of those things that you can put into your slow cooker and makes your house full of love. But I'm going to be amping it up and pimping it up and just doing it a little bit different. I'm going to be putting it and having a barbecue sauce with it. And I'm going to be using here my slow cooker, but I'm going to be using the pressure cooker part of it, which is on this side. If you've got a slow cooker or you've got a crock pot, it's exactly the same thing. They're exactly the same, but this one happens to have a pressure cooker, which means when you get home from work and you really fancy yourself a bit of silverside, you can pop it in there for an hour, go and have a bath, add a glass of wine, and then boom, bam, ding dong, it is done. The good thing about going live is you can ask lots of questions. So Jack is going to be there to be able to relay the questions, and we can have a bit of a chitty chat about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Or I can ask some of your questions that have been burning on your mind that you want to talk about. So don't be shy and ask the questions when you're ready, and then we can hopefully I can help you in the kitchen. So we're going to start with putting our silverside into the cooker. So as you can see here, I've got it ready, and I've sliced through some of the sinews. And that means when it cooks, it doesn't shrink too much. And I've taken off as much of the fat as I possibly can. All right, so that's all ready to go in. I've got my cooker here. And as I said, I'm going to be using the pressure cooker part of it. Already in there, I have some water. When you're doing a silverside, it's really good to use a trivet if you can. That means the meat cooks nice and even. So I'm just going to pop that in the bottom. And then I'm going to put in my flavourings. When you cook silverside, a lot of people like to use stock. I find that when you use stock, it makes the silverside taste of the stock. And also silverside can be quite salty. So I like to use water, and then I like to flavour my water. And then your silverside takes on all the flavours that you're putting into the water and not just the stock. And as I said before, stock can be quite salty, and silverside is already salty. So let's pop that on, and then we can talk about what we can cook in our stock pot. So let's start with I love chilli. You don't have to put chilli in, but I love to put chilli in. So I have some mustard seeds, and I also have some allspice. Traditionally when cooking silverside, I know people like to put in some cloves. I like to put in some allspice because allspice has quite an aromatic flavour about it, and it just makes it taste very deep and just delicious. So I'm going to put in maybe a tablespoon of my mustard seeds and about 10 allspice, whole allspice clove seeds. They can go in. Bish. Okay. Also in there, I'm going to pop some black peppercorns. They're going to go in too. Bish. So easy. And the flavour is so amazing. Another thing I love to put in with my silverside is some apple. This is a Granny Smith, and it just gives it that there's a kind of sharp flavour to it and a sweetness that is just divine. So I'm just going to take out the core there. Let's get those quarters in there, nice and chunky. There we go. Pop those in there. And of course, for added sweetness, I'm going to pop in 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Actually, hold on a minute. Alexa, 3 tablespoons of sugar in grams. Can you tell me?
I don't know that.
Alexa, 3 tablespoons of sugar in grams.
3 Australian tablespoons of sugar weighs about 51 grams.
Thank you very much. She's been a bit bougie today. Normally she's okay, but she's always had a hard week. But I'm going to put my sugar in. 3 tablespoons or 51 grams. And we are ready to go. So I'll just get my tongs and lay my silver side in there. And we want to cover it with water. That's really, really important. Put the lid on and we're going to lock it. Okay, I'm just going to turn on the power. Okay, so to make our pressure cooker work, you can see it says traditional and it also says pressure. So I'm going to go meat and I want it to be 60 minutes. So I'm just going to pop that up to 60 minutes. There we go. Okay, oopsie. Yeah. And then up here, you want to make sure that the valve is on closed. So we want to keep all that pressure in there so it cooks the meat nice and quick. Okay, so we'll keep it on that. And then we're just going to press start and it's going to heat. And then behind me, you'll see all the steam is going to start coming up. So when you're using a pressure cooker or your slow cooker, it's great for ragouts, it's great for lamb shanks. And don't forget, especially in a pressure cooker, you can make souffles, cheesecakes, you can make molten chocolate like puddings, you can actually do lots of things. I stew my fruit in there as well, which is really lovely because I'm a lover of feijoas. Please don't judge me on that, but I really love them. So you don't forget, you can do lots and lots of things in your pressure cooker and in your slow cooker. In my slow cooker as well, I make a lasagna and a moussaka, which is just divine. You don't get the crispy top, but it's just tender and delicious. Okay, so we're going to crack on and we're going to make everything else. So basically, all I'm doing today is I'm doing the silver side and I'm going to pull it in a barbecue sauce. I'm doing that with some potatoes, which are garlic mash. So here, I have some potatoes cooking. I might put a bit more water in there. There we go. Lovely. And to make a garlic mash, oh, there's someone else in the room. I think we've got, yeah, it's okay, it's all good. So to make a garlic mash, all you do is you get a clove of garlic and you just throw it in the water. And that will cook with the potatoes, become nice and sweet. And then when it comes out, you just take the skin off and you mash it all together. And you basically have a garlic mash, which is really good if you want to have it for your dinner. If you're making, say, fish cakes or you're making a rosti, it's a really delicious way to add flavour. So let's start making our hash. Pan on, bit of gas there, lovely. Oil in the pan, just a little bit of oil there. And also butter in the pan as well. You've got oil for cooking and butter for flavour. Yum. Okay. I've got one onion, so I'm just going to make one portion today. So I've got one onion, and I'm going to slice that up. Okay, so we're just going to roll that round in the oil. And I'm going to grab some more garlic. I want some garlic in there as well. Such a beautiful day in Christchurch today. I hope you're having beautiful weather wherever you are. I'm just going to toss that round in, and we want to just going to cut it in half and then squeeze that into, to start the basis of all the flavours. Get that little one there. Just don't burn yourself there, Jack. There we go. Yum. I'm just going to saute that nice and gently. Get those flavours going so they're nice and soft. Okay, so while that is sauteing, we're going to look at starting our carrots. So I'm doing my pulled silver side barbecue. I'm doing my garlic mash. I'm also doing some sesame and maple syrup carrots. And I'm also going to be doing some buttered mustard peas. So let's get on with our carrots. And we're going to go over to the food processor. So here's my carrot, and I've just peeled it and just taken the end off. And I've got my food processor here. Just leave that there for now, because I want to talk about this. Now, the good thing about a food processor is you can use it for so many different things. If you want to make your own mincemeat and you want to make a blend of mincemeat, you can use it. If you want to make, make dauphinoise potatoes, you can use it for chopping. If you want to make coleslaw, you can do all of those things. If you want to make your own pastry, you can do that. mayonnaise, which is great in here. Everything goes in, whip it up, and it's as light and fluffy as you ever want it to be. So I'll just turn this down, Jack, because it's starting to smell gorgeous up in my kitchen. Turn that down. And let's chop some carrots. So I'm using my Breville, and with that I get one of these adjustable slicers. So if you look inside here, you can see you can adjust how thick or thin you want your potatoes, your parsnips, your eggplant, anything you want. I'm going to go for a 4. Last night I went for a 3. Oopsie daisy. But I'm going to pop that on the top, on my spindle, pop my lid on. You get a little bit noisy, my friends, so you might need to talk amongst yourself for a bit. Pop my carrot in, and off we go. And they are done. I go into my saucepan. There we go. Lovely. I'm going to put a little bit of water in my carrots. Bit of water in my carrots. Pop those on and get those cooking. In with my carrots as well, I'm going to put some sesame oil and start that all cooking up. Lovely. Right. Don't forget a little bit of salt and pepper. And pepper. And a little bit of salt in there as well. Yum. That should literally take 2 to 3 minutes.
Right.
Okay.
So, first question, we've got one from George Jimmy here.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Easy desserts to make.
Easy desserts to make. So, are you talking hot? Are you cold? Well, look, if you want to make a lovely sponge, get an egg, weigh the egg, and then all you need to do is, whatever weight it is, say it's 64 grams, you weigh the sugar, the flour, and you weigh the butter. And that's all you need to know. That will make a really quick and easy sponge. You don't have to remember the recipe. Then you layer the bottom of your pan with chocolate, bananas, curd, jam, put your sponge on top, bang it in the oven, and in 20 minutes you have the most divine, easy sponge. I don't actually have a microwave, so I don't actually, I don't know how to make them in the microwave, but that is one really cool and easy dessert to make. And you can make it with 4 eggs, 2 eggs, 1 egg. It's entirely up to you. Easy as pie. Thanks, that's a great question.
Heath has asked, do you salt steak before cooking?
That is Heath. So Heath, that is a really good question. I don't salt my steak before cooking, and I'll tell you why. As soon as you add salt to any type of your protein or your meat, it starts pulling out all of the juices, and it means the meat gets hard. So what I do is take my meat out half an hour before from the fridge, make sure it's at room temperature, mash it in a hot pan, and then on goes the salt. That's a really good question. And that means you're getting the best out of your meat. I'm just gonna drain my potatoes, and remember my garlic is in there. So I'm just gonna put that back on the heat to dry out some of that moisture. It's all going now, look at this, yum. Those carrots with a little bit of sesame oil, wow. So, let's get our gherkins in. Yum. Smell it. What's that smell like, Jack?
Oh, it's fire. Woo!
Now,
Symphony of flavours up in here.
last night I made a lovely joint. There it is. Oh look, I think someone, maybe Nigella's been over into my kitchen. Someone's been nibbling at it. Wish I'd never given her my address. Anyway, there we have it. So, all I'm going to do is pull it apart with my fork. And as you can see, even though it's cold, it's still really easy. It's really easy to just pull those fibres apart. I left a bit of fat on it last night. You want some chunky bits. You want some not so chunky bits. You want it to be crispy in the pan. Ooh, gosh. There we go. Smells so good. And remember, you can have this with mash, but you can also have it in like a big bap. So let's pop some of that into, some cheese and some, get your food processor to make some coleslaw, my friends. Yum. Is that going to be enough just for me and you, Jack?
I think that'll be more than enough. Right, now we've got a question from Louise.
Okay, Louise.
Louise says, is it true that if you cut potatoes first and leave them in water, that it leaches the starch out? I've heard of it, but don't know of the validity.
No, I've never heard that one before. I'll tell you what I can tell you. If you've got a vegetable that grows beneath the earth, then that is going to have like a starch content. Do you know what I mean? So what you need to do with that is, what's the matter, Jake? You're laughing.
I love it dancing.
It has a starch content, so you need to put it into cold water and bring it up to temperature. And then the starch is like, what's going on? I'm getting really warm. I'm really, really happy. And it cooks really nicely. But if you've got a vegetable that grows above, you put it into boiling water, and then because it's got not so much starch content. I don't know about the, so that's what I've been taught. So take that one to the bank. Okay, look, so we're crispying it up. Let me just move that out of the way. Yeah. Right, so what I want to happen here is the fibres to break down, and I want it to start getting nice and crispy. So what I might do, Jack, is move it to the bigger one here.
Oh,
Watch yourself.
Lord of mercy.
There we go, turn that one off. We want it to be nice and crispy. Divine.
Right.
Question?
Yes, we got from Hannah Smith. What would your top 5 must-have pieces of kitchen equipment be, aside from the standard oven and hob?
Wow, that's a really good. So my top 5 kitchen equipments. Okay, so my stick blender, which is this baby, because that just takes all of the work out of so many jobs. My food processor, love, love, love. My NutriBullet, because my NutriBullet, I can do soups, I can do salsas, I can do hummus, I can make my own almond milk, I can make my own nut milk. So all of those things for my NutriBullet, fantastic piece of equipment. I know I've already said it, but my pressure cooker, because you know what? You can put some ribs in there and they're as tough as old boots. They come out and they just fall off the bone. And you can do that while you're drinking wine and reading your magazines. So my pressure cooker. How many is that, Jack?
Huh? Oh, 4.
4?
Yeah, one more. Go on.
And Alexa, because she makes me happy. I shouldn't have said that her name, she's going to talk now.
Yeah. I thought I would have been number 5, but fair enough.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Jack.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I understand.
But I'm going to mash my potatoes. They're nice and dry now. What I'm going to do is seek out that clove of garlic, which is nice and soft now. I'm just going to pull the skin off. Go. Drop that back in, so that's back in there. Just put that in it. There we are. And then I'm going to pop in there some butter. Yeah. Not too much butter. Boom! And I'm going to mash it. Okay, so get my masher out. It's one of my favourite mashers as well. So that goes in, mash that baby. I like to mash everything before I put any milk in, just so I know that it's going to be how much milk I need to take. And that garlic just mashes up. Woo! Oh, it smells so good.
Oh, Liam's watching.
Hey, Liam.
Now we have 2 questions from Philip.
Okay, Philip.
So, first of all, he wants to know if you're from New Zealand.
Am I from New Zealand? So the first question, no, I'm not from New Zealand. I was born in London, England. My parents are Jamaican, and I am a Kiwi citizen. So I'm a Bitzer, I'm a modern pioneer, but I am a lover of this beautiful country. So that's a great question. Thank you for asking. It's because I sound like the Queen. Everyone says, oh, you really sound like Queen of England. I'm like, yeah, I know. We always get mixed up. Next question.
Same person, second question. Where are you operating out of right now?
Right now I'm operating out of my kitchen, but I live in Christchurch. So, yeah, I'm operating out of Christchurch, New Zealand.
Cool.
One of the best countries in the world. Okay, I'm going to put a tiny little bit of milk in there. Tiny. Just to kind of make it whippable. Tiny bit, there we go. That's enough. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to get my peas and my mustard. That reminds me, I just need to ask, Alexa, put onions on my shopping list, please.
Onions added to your shopping list.
Boom. Thank you, lovely. Okay, I'm just going to whip that up now, Jack. Just with, if you look in here now, I've added my milk, the difference. You know, you don't need to add a lot, but it just, that is just. Now here, in here, Jack, I have my carrots. They are done. Just a bit of bite on them. I'm just going to drain them. Yeah.
While you're draining them, question from George.
Okay, George, hit me with it.
How important is space and cleanliness while cooking?
How important is space and cleanliness when cooking? Well, for me, it's very important. The idea, when I'm in the kitchen, I like to be able to move really, really easily, and I like to know that all my surfaces are clean, and I like to know that when I finish doing one job in the kitchen, it's ready for the next job. So what I often do is, I'm not really a big lover of spraying down my benches. So at the end of the evening, what I do is I will get a lemon that I've used, for example, like this one, I've used a zest, and I'll slice it in half and I'll use that to wipe my bench down. So that means in the morning when I get up, if I want to make some pasta or make some soda bread, I'm not picking up any of those chemicals. All I'm picking up is a flavour of lemon, and it's a natural antibiotic, so antibacterial, sorry. So that's how I like to keep my kitchen clean. I mean, I'm trying to get this out in 20 minutes, so it's looking a bit like a bomb site, but generally my kitchen is very, very tidy. It's a great question. I think it's really important. I think it's very important. Okay, so carrots are nice and tender, drained. I've added a little bit more oil, and then here I have some bougie maple syrup. Oh. So you can add any maple syrup, you can add honey, but I'm going to add some, just a little touch in there to give it that lovely flavour, the sweetness, picking up the sesame. Yum. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit more black pepper in there. Okay, and that is more or less done. They are more or less done. Just gonna I want that. What I'm looking for in my silver side is it to be still tender, and to have some crispy bits on it as well. Oh, yum. So I'm just gonna leave that to cook through. The carrots are more or less done. I'm just gonna move those to the back there, Jack, because I want to put my peas on. Saucepan. Some water. And a saucepan. On the gas, some water in there, a bit of salt. Right, let's finish off our silver side. We've got silver side, got our garlic mash, we've got our sesame carrots. Now I'm going to add in here some Worcestershire sauce, just a dash. Also, I have cheetah. I've got some barbecue sauce. So maybe 2 tablespoons in there, a little bit more butter. There we go. At this point, you can add in some fresh herbs from your garden. Parsley is always really good. Thyme is lovely. It's entirely up to you. And as I said as well, this is really nice with the mash, but it's also lovely in a soft back coleslaw and cheese. If I've got any left over, if I ever have any left over, it's really lovely in a pie as well. So you can put that in a pie with lots of cheese, and you get lots of crunch. It's great, really lovely. But also Silverside is a really lovely alternative in your lasagna. It really is, because it goes a long, long way. You know, you've seen how much I've actually put from Nigella's nibbling into the pan, and it goes a long way. So I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to do my peas. Just book standard. Turn that off. Any other questions for me?
People are answering their own questions.
Oh, are they?
Louise says, peas are yucky. Lol, you can't take the peas out of a Brit. That's...
You can't take the peas out of a Brit. I think we should have lunch. You've obviously not had peas cooked by me. How can anyone not like peas? Come on. Okay, so we're almost ready to plate up. What we've got to do is wait for our peas to cook, and we are good to go. I'm just going to taste. Jack, would you like to taste, get you a fork? You can have a taste of, if it needs anything. And you're going to need to blow it because it's really hot.
Yeah.
There we go, lovely.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, gosh.
Woo!
Huh? Yo.
How is it?
It's amazing. It's
Good?
really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
think it needs anything.
Doesn't need anything. No. Is it salty?
Yeah, it's salty. Salty, it's sweet, tangy.
Okay.
It's really good.
While we're waiting for our peas to cook, all I'm going to do is get some sesame seeds down and pop them into my sesame carrots. I'm just going to show you my OCD here now. So, here we go.
Oh man.
I know I had to get the containers that fit just right. I'm just going to pop a few in there. There we go. Lovely jubbly.
I do have one from Heath again.
From Heath.
Yep.
Hello, Heath.
Please, can I have some advice on how to perfectly cook my broccoli? I always overdo it.
You always overdo it. So, the perfect way to cook broccoli is to saucepan, a little bit of water in the bottom. You need to make sure that your broccoli is all cut in the same size so it all cooks evenly, even if you're using the stalks, which I do recommend. Then, when you've got bubbles, throw all your broccoli in, cover, and literally let it steam from both ends, from the water coming up and the steam coming down. Even if you're making a whole broccoli head, you only need literally 5 minutes. As soon as it starts changing colour, that's when you want to drain it, take it off, and you're good to go. You never need to cook broccoli for longer than 2 to 3 minutes, whether it's one floret or whether it's a whole head. As soon as it changes colour, you're good to go. It's also nice to take it off nice and early, drain, and just toss it through a little bit of oil, because that kind of makes it just delicious. Just delicious. That's a great question, actually. Eat your veggies, people. 5 a day. 5 a day plus. Okay, so our peas are cooking, so we are good to go. So let's plate up.
And Tammy's asked what time you should expect her for dinner.
What time? Well, yeah, whenever you're ready. But then you're going to have to cook for me. So,
Oh, the challenge.
yeah, the challenge. So we've got some beautiful mash. Look at that. I'll put that there, Jack. There we go.
No worries.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my days. Look at that. Okay. In the pot. Then I'm going to put on. I am. Yum. So delicious. Lots of flavours, lots of textures. And you can make your silver sign and it can actually last a couple of days. Because remember, you can have this in your lunches as well. Make it with savouries. Okay, yum. And pop that back on the heat. And of course these are buttered. Just a tiny bit. I know I seem to use a lot of butter, but you remember you can cook these all separately. You don't have to do it all at the same time. Just going to pop those around there. And then I'm going to pop in a little bit of mustard. I love hot English mustard. And it also goes absolutely divine with silverside, as we all know. It's a different way to eat it as opposed to just having it in a sauce. I like quite a lot in there. Yeah. Goes over there for... And I'm just going to toss that through my peas. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. Oh. They just get really sticky. I'm just going to tumble some of those over the top. And then, my friends, this sticky, salty, textured, barbecued, divine. Just use this. I'm going to tumble some of that on top. Wow. Yum. That is winter and love. Winter and love on a plate. And as you saw, it doesn't take any time whatsoever. So I want to thank Noel Leanings for allowing me to come and talk to all of their lovely people and do my little dance in my kitchen and create this lovely dish using some of their amazing appliances, which is always good fun because it means I'm never alone in the kitchen. I'm Jax Hamilton. This has been my son Jack. He's been my cameraman. It's been a lovely day in Christchurch. We've made a lovely dish. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a fork. And you know what I'm going to do? Thank you. Thank you for watching. And I'm going to say, see you later.